All right, all right, all right. We are live. Hey, everybody. For everybody, I've been gone for a while. I've been doing mostly recording shows for other promoters and whatnot, but I'm back. And today on Hanging with the Dreamer, for those that don't know who I am, my name is the Dreamer. Thank you so very much for joining Tony and I today. Today, as the thumbnail says, today my guest is Toney Richards from the band WIKKID STARR. And before I bring Tony out from the green room, I just want to give a quick shout out, real quick, to the Lead Don't Follow Foundation. This foundation is very important to Dreamland Studios and very important in my life because the Lead Don't Follow Foundation is trying to provide a drug-free community by getting people into treatment and into counseling. I totally support that. I totally support that. Another shout out I'd like to give is to Carol Niven in Las Vegas. And I would also like to give a shout out to Darren Griffith. I would also like to give a shout out to Sid over at Inner Demon Media. Thank you, Sid, for all that you're doing for our music and our world. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Essential Guitarist Group. Thank you, Bill, for always being awesome and making me part of everything you're doing with the Essential Guitarist Group. And I'd also like to give a shout out to jaylambsremy and the High Voltage Video Magazine for always airing and always publishing Hanging with the Dreamer. And also for those that are new to this channel, if you like my content, please consider hitting my PayPal box. That would be phenomenal. And I will continue to be able to bring you the best possible quality interviews that I possibly can. Let's all love together. Let's all grow together. Let's all inspire together. And let's be the best possible people we can be. Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is The Dreamer. And again, a big shout out to the Lead Don't Follow Foundation and Carol. A big shout out to the CEO, Darren Griffith. Thank you, everybody, for coming. So, without further ado, I would like to bring out at this time Mr. Toney Richards, lead vocalist of the band WIKKID STARR.
How you doing,
Hey,
Will?
Tony. I am fantastic. Thank you so very much for coming to the show. And thank you so very much for being my guest and giving me your time. Welcome to Hanging with the Dreamer and welcome to Dreamland Studios.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you for having me on, and wouldn't want to miss this for the world. So here we are. Let's do it.
WIKKID STARR. What is the history, the backstory behind the band WIKKID STARR and your role in the band as lead vocalist and as songwriter?
Well, that's a loaded question. It goes back to probably I'm gonna say 2007, 2008, somewhere around there. Me and a guy named Ashland Childs were the original founders of the band, and we came together because there was a film project that was happening, and they needed a couple songs for this horror flick, and we went ahead and did that, and came out pretty well. And once we heard the songs, we're like, wow, why don't we just keep going and try to, you know, put something together. So we did, and we met Bill Crodell, who owned Media Kitchen Studios out in the South Bay, in I believe it was Gardena. And Bill's worked with a lot of South Bay artists like Rat, Great White, Don Dokken, you know, people like that, the Bullet Boys, Gilby Clarke. He had a pretty impressive resume. So once we talked to Bill and we got to meet him and hang out with him, we figured he was going to be the one that would probably be able to, you know, bring out all the stuff that we had in us and in the studio and harness that and make it sound really good. So exactly as we thought was how it all went down. Bill worked with us, and then he brought a guy named David Raven, who's an incredible drummer. He can play any genre of music, not just rock and roll, but he also plays punk, he plays folk, plays country. He's just a great talent and a really down-to-earth, cool guy. So David Raven came in and played drums on, I believe it was Karma, Feed Me, and God, I'm drawing a blank. Karma, Feed Me, and Zombie TV. I'm sorry. So those are the three songs that David Raven played drums for on the first album, which was a Collision Course. So then once all that started materializing and we had the first four songs done, Ashlyn kind of went MIA and just sort of disappeared from the face of the earth. The communication between him and I wasn't there. I know there's some internal problems going on. I'm not going to elaborate on anything like that, but I believe that had a lot to do with his disappearing and not communicating. So I was left wondering whether I should continue with the project or start something completely different from scratch and piece together everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talked to Bill about it, Bill said that, you know, just reload, keep going. I had a good thing going. So that's kind of what I did. I started looking for other musicians that were, you know, wanting to play the genre of music that I wanted to do. And, you know, everybody had a lot of commitments back then. And I did have a couple guys that were interested. But before all that happened and I can, you know, reload again, Bill ended up dying from cancer. So that was devastating in that now I lost my engineer and the one person that was sort of guiding me with this whole project. So what happened at that point was I sort of went into hiatus a little bit, and I was thinking whether I should continue or just say, screw it, you know, I'm done, that sort of thing. So it was sort of a crossroads for me. And then I thought about it for like a year, and I kept getting like depressed because I was like, fuck, I still have a lot of music in me. I want to keep going with this. So I decided to go full bore and just not screw around anymore and put together everything. And I came up with the plan to revamp my career, and I would start out in South America. So I finished the album, the first album, Collision Course, and I used a bunch of different musicians on each song, but the end result was really good. So once I finished Collision Course, I went on a promotional tour of South America. I hired a PR person, and he helped me come up with the plan on how we were going to do it. So the three countries we were going to target were going to be Argentina, Brazil, and Uruguay. And that's what we did. So we came up with this plan of flying out there, and doing this promotional blitz. When I went to Buenos Aires, I got to meet a lot of good musicians and a lot of cool people that were involved in the rock scene out there. And I was able to go up on stage and sing a couple Van Halen songs. I did Panama and You Really Got Me with a Van Halen cover band out there called Spanish Fly. And I'm still friends to this day with the guitar player. His name's Marcelo. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It really is. He's a really good guy. And, his girlfriend does a lot of media stuff out there. And we were able to get on the CM Music channel out there, which is equivalent to MTV out here in the States, or what MTV used to be back in the 80s. They play a lot of music videos, do a lot of interviews and stuff like that. So they interviewed me when I was promoting Collision Course out there. And I also came out on one of the biggest radio stations out there, Vortex Radio, which does all kinds of rock bands. They promote rock bands and they play a lot of good hard rock and metal. So I was able to hit all the major spots to be impactful. So and I met the key players out there, which was good because those are great connections to have. And when I went to Uruguay, it was a little different. When I was in Montevideo, I ran across people that were in the scene, but it didn't seem like they were as passionate like the Argentines were when I was in Buenos Aires. And the scene was a lot smaller in Montevideo, but it was still cool. I mean, the scenery was great. You're right by the beach. I mean, it's a beautiful city, and you just look out and there's the ocean. It reminded me of like being in what would be comparable, like maybe Santa Monica, where you're out in Santa Monica and you look out and there's the ocean. That's kind of how I felt, except you're not looking down like you are in Santa Monica. You're looking like straight across, and there it is. So it's kind of cool. So Uruguay wasn't as impactful as I wanted it to be, but it was still fun. And then I got to go to Brazil. I went to País de Sol, which is a city that's closer to Uruguay. And then I went to Sao Paulo, which is like their New York City. It's just massive. And it's easy to get lost because everything kind of looks the same. And I did get lost a couple of times because I'm like, where the hell am I? But luckily, I was able to find my way back, and everything sort of worked out okay. But yeah, Brazil was cool. But one thing about Brazil was that they were really into like this really heavy stuff. I didn't meet the key players in their music scene that could have helped me with my genre of music. I think what happened in Brazil was that they were expecting something much heavier, and when I presented them with something that was more mainstream rock, hard rock, hair metal, they liked it, but they were like, well, we were expecting like Metallica or Anthrax or something, which is stuff that I like, but I mean, I wasn't playing that and I wasn't promoting that. So it went well, but it could have, like I said, it could have been better if I met people that were into the genre and not, the heavier stuff. But either way, it was a successful promotional tour for me. And it's sort of like it just lit the fuse for everything else that happened afterwards. So in 2016, I went back to Argentina and I headlined 2 shows, and I co-supported, or I was a direct supporter for Jeff Scott Soto, who ended up headlining the Roxy in Buenos Aires. They do this thing called the Glam Nation Party. And they have these, I think, quarterly. So they put on like four of these shows a year. So I was able to open up for Jeff out there, and we sold it out. It was great, and I had a great time. And I met Jorge Salon, which is a great Spanish guitarist. The guy rips. He's awesome. He's sort of like I want to say like a George Lynch, Eddie Van Halen type, where he can just
Hmm.
pretty much play anything, and he's just got great tone, good stage presence, and I mean, he plays with a lot of passion. So getting the opportunity to meet him, because he was playing guitar for Jeff out there, was pretty cool. So I got to hang with him for a little bit and talk to him. And then I hung out with Jeff, and we're talking about a bunch of stuff that I guess when we saw each other at the House of Blues in Hollywood, I believe it was in 2006, Paul Stanley was doing one of those rock camps out there. And I had the opportunity to go, and I ran into Jeff that night, and I reminded him of that night, and he was tripping out because it'd been so long. I think it was like 9 years. But yeah, it was fun. I had a great time. So then once that happened, I established a good underground following in South America, and it just kind of, the domino effect just happened after that. I think we when I came back, we ended up doing the Battle for Hair Nation competition at the Whiskey, and that sort of gave us some more recognition and expanded the following a little bit in the States. And once everybody in Hollywood started finding out that I was still playing and that I was back out there doing my thing, they started coming out and supporting me. So after that Hair Nation competition, it just sort of took off from there. And the lineup has changed throughout the years from that 2016 lineup up into now. It's a lot different. So I don't know how many guitar players, bass players, and drummers have been in WIKKID STARR at this point, but it's been good in that it keeps evolving and it keeps getting better. And I think with the current lineup that we currently have right now, I can honestly say that I'm really happy in regards to where we're at with it, both musically and personally, in regards to just the bond and friendship that we've made, and the fact that we respect each other musically, and how we're sort of just putting all this together, and it's just flowing. And it's a beautiful thing when you have the opportunity to experience that sort of thing, and you're not forcing anything, or you're not really trying to put a square peg in a circle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything's just falling into place for us, and I'm willing to ride this out for as long as we can, because I think we got a great thing going with this new album that's coming out. But yeah, that's a little history on the band. I mean, we've gone, like I said, through so many lineup changes, and it's been a lot of frustration and a lot of hard work that's been put into it. I'm not a quitter, so with every lineup change that we went through, of course, I had to reevaluate everything, and I wanted to make sure that everything was going to improve with each change that was made, and that I wasn't just changing people because I have this egotistical attitude of, oh well, I don't like this person on a personal level, so I'm just going to replace them. It wasn't like that at all. I had a lot of respect for everybody that played with us, and sometimes it was their decision to leave, and that's okay. I mean, we were still friends. I respected them for their decision, and I respected the fact that they wanted to do other things, and it is what it is at that point. But there's been a lot of good guitar players in this band, and I wish that the dual guitar tandem that we had at one point would have worked out when we had Michael Rod and Kyle Kay in the band. But for whatever reason, it didn't. And I think it was more the supporting cast than it was, had anything to do with their talent or their them getting along with each other, because they did. They got along with each other well, and of course, like I said, their talent was good. They're good guitar players, and I know Michael's out in Vegas now, and he has a couple projects that he's always been a part of. Even when he was in WIKKID STARR, he was playing in Fira, and I believe he was playing in another band that I can't remember the name of right now. But Michael is good. I've had a lot of respect for him from day one. Same thing with Kyle. Kyle's a great guitar player, and he's going to show everybody, what's going on with his new project. And I wish him the best of luck with everything that's going on. But yeah, I love Kyle. He's a good guy. He's a great person, and I know that he's going to succeed because he's got the drive. He's got the ambition, and good things are going to happen for him. But in regards to the current lineup, we got something special going on with what we're doing, and I believe that, and I'm not talking shit when I say this, because this is how confident I feel about this album. I think there's iconic albums that people make that are very special, and you go back and you listen to them and you're like, wow, this shit's good. Every song on this album rocks. There is no filler material or anything like that. It was just sort of half-assed and put together just to fill up space. This album isn't like that at all. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say this, and I'll back it up. You look at the AC/DC Back in Black album, and that was the first album with Brian Johnson.
Yep.
And you're like, holy shit, this is awesome. This is fucking great. Because from fucking song one to, however many tracks are on there, I forget, it rocks. And you just get hooked in, and you have to listen to the whole damn thing because that's how good it is. Same thing with Guns N' Roses in their first album. These are iconic albums that were just revolutionary, I think, in regards to, going back and looking at the history of rock and roll and what albums were impactful. I can say the same thing about Kiss Destroyer and the first Van Halen album and Journey's Separate Ways album. I mean, these are all like kick-ass albums that just revolutionized everything. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this third album, WIKKID STARR album, Return to Glory, is going to be on that level. That's how special this is. And I'm going to let the audience decide whether they feel the same way about it as I do. But I think that when they hear it, they're going to like it. They're going to like it so much that they're going to play it over and over and over again because it's addicting. It really is. And everybody that we've played it for so far is just loving it, man. They can't get enough of it, and they can't wait till April 29th when it's finally released on the Lions Pride music label. So there it is. I said it. I'm saying it because I'm confident about it. I'm not because I'm an egotistical asshole that just wants to sit there and blow smoke up my ass and all that stuff. I don't subscribe to any of that shit. I'm actually pretty down to earth. I'm pretty humble. I've never been a fucking asshole like that. So there it is.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. So there are 3 videos down in the description box below. Everybody, hey, we have some good folks watching over from Facebook, YouTube. Welcome to the show. My name is The Dreamer. This is my guest, Toney Richards from the band WIKKID STARR. If you'd like to hear what WIKKID STARR sounds like, I have some videos in the description box below. Check them out after the interview. Check them out after the show. I guarantee you're going to like them. I love this band. I'm a fan. I'm a music fan first and foremost, like most of us. And I love the music of WIKKID STARR. So
thanks, Will.
I highly recommend checking out the video links that I have in the description box below, everybody. And also, I highly recommend checking out the Lead Don't Follow Foundation and at leaddon'tfollowfoundation.com. And I highly recommend checking out my partner's magazine, the High Voltage Video Magazine. So my next question is, speaking of the videos, Toney, that are down the description box below, Bring It On. What is the backstory to Bring It On?
I can take that question a couple different ways. Be a little more specific about what you mean.
Well, what inspired the lyrics and the music for the WIKKID STARR single, Bring It On?
Okay. So the inspiration behind that was, just meeting people that were sort of deceptive and, backstabbish, I guess, in that you open up your the doors to your heart, I guess, and you think that somebody is something that they're portraying to be, and then you find out later on that it's just a bunch of bullshit, that they were
right,
being deceitful right from the get-go. So I think it's just a lot of like, what, fuck this, I don't care anymore. Just kind of what it says. Just bring it, and let me decide whether you're a good person or not. But of course, there's some sleaze element thrown in there. With every song that we write, there's always a double entendreage. So we kind of threw that in there just to sort of throw a twist in it. And when we did the video, of course, we got together with Kate and David Tickle, which is an English couple that I met. I first met them in Pasadena, and the first time that we met, we ate at a Argentinian restaurant there in Old Town.
On Colorado.
Yes, exactly. I think the restaurant was called 1810. It's no longer there anymore.
Yeah.
It was a COVID casualty. So yeah, but that's where we met initially, and we talked about the video and what we were going to do in the video. And I wanted to make sure that everything was okay with Kate, because she was going to play the vixen. And I kind of told her what the storyline was, and she agreed to it. And we incorporated David as well. And the car in the video is my Corvette. And we filmed it all in on Sunset, right on that strip where the Roxy and the Rainbow and the Whiskey are. So that's where it was filmed, on location. We were lucky enough that day, because of COVID, there wasn't a lot of foot traffic, and we were able to, do what we wanted in regards to putting it out there.
Well, I just want to give a quick shout out to Inner Demon Media. Sid, thank you for watching. This is my esteemed guest, Toney Richards. Thank you, Sid. And thank you for everything that you're getting ready to do for Dreamland Studios. Inner Demon Media, everybody. Check them out. So the next song that I have in the description box below, everybody, Snake in the Grass. That's a good name. I really like that.
Yeah,
what was the inspiration behind that one, Toney?
Well, it's pretty clear cut. It's about relationships, and relationships that go sour. Again, getting involved with the wrong person, thinking that you picked a partner that you can work together with and grow old with, or just trying to build a solid foundation for both of you. and then you find
Right.
out that they're just promiscuous individuals that are still wanting to sow their oats, and they're on a different level than you are. When you look at life and you look at the evolutionary uh, process that we all go through individually, you see that people aren't always on the same level. And when you try
Hmm.
to, find the right partner and you get involved in a relationship, if you make that mistake of getting involved with somebody who's not as evolved as you are, because there's different types of upbringings, there's different personalities and experiences, and it doesn't mesh like you thought it would. And that's when
Mm.
you run into issues like this, where uh, people want to stay together because of finances, or because it's a convenience,
Yeah.
or you know just all the
Mm.
wrong reasons, all the wrong things that you should stay together for. There is no
Yeah.
love there. It's
Yeah.
just what you can do for me, and at that point it just becomes sort of a fake relationship at that point. So snake in the grass is about, it could be a guy or a girl, it doesn't matter. That deceptive person that you're in a relationship with, that
Right. Right.
goes
Right.
behind your back and is looking to see if the grass is greener on the other side, that sort of thing. Sort of the gold digging uh, individual, which again could be a male or female.
Hmm.
Not being sexist with that at all. Um, I think sexism is idiotic, because it can go both ways. Always can.
Yeah. 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 I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. I think that people, that man, woman, are indifferent. Um, right is right and wrong is wrong. You know, it goes for all of us, and
Are you sure?
it,
Well, are you
well,
sure about that?
it should be.
I mean, so you're saying there's a universal truth, right? There's a
I
one
think it is.
absolute truth. So there's no such
Ah,
thing as alternative facts.
and that leads us into you don't understand.
That was good. That was good.
Life.
That was good.
Life. You don't understand. So, how did that come about, Tony?
Well, all these relationship songs that you picked. I was hoping you picked a party song or something. Uh, Eeks. You
It's all
just don't
right.
understand is about, again, a relationship with an individual who sort of
Good,
has their own
Chunky.
vision of life, and you're sort of, you have your dreams and aspirations. So it's not seeing eye to eye on what those goals are when it comes to forming a relationship with each other. So it's like getting involved with, like, this hot girl or this hot guy, and what initially draws you to them is the exterior, and then once you're involved in the relationship, all of a sudden you're like, well, wait a minute, their dreams and aspirations are a little different than mine. They're not lining up here. You find out that maybe she wants to be a corporate CEO of some, Fortune 500 company or something, and that's like her main motivator in life. And your motivation is to, want to be a successful musician, and that's your calling, and you're going to do everything in your power to get there. So when you can't compromise on things, and a lot of people can't, because when you're ambitious, you're hell set in your ways and hell bent on going for it and putting aside everything and hyper focusing on how to get there and stuff. So you don't feel like compromising much, and that's sort of like what starts deteriorating the relationship, and then you're at a point where you have to make a decision on whether to continue with it or not. And the song was written because I felt that at that point, why am I going to lie to myself if she wants to go left and I want to go right, and who the hell am I to interfere in her dreams and ambitions and whatever it is that she wants to accomplish. So that at that point I walked away, and I ended a relationship that at first I thought had the potential to be something special, but because it didn't line up, it ended up being a friendship, and it just sort of like fizzed out with time.
Well,
but it was hard. It was something hard, I think, and I think everyone can relate to that, because I'm sure that we've all experienced that at some point in our life.
Before I go to the next song, Gear Junkie 35 said, just dipping in and say hello. Have a great show. Happy holidays, Dreamer and friends. Hey, thanks, Gear Junkie. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I apologize, Gear Junkie. I haven't been live for a while. I've been doing a lot of recorded shows. Oh, thank you very, very much for being here, Gear Junkie. And happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And happy Hanukkah.
Thank you. So,
and Merry Christmas.
The next video, the next song that just totally resonates with me is Karma. Karma. Karma, 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 karma.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it is, man. It's that's sort of what put us on the map. That was the song that resonated with everybody off a Collision Course. And when I went to Argentina, they loved it. They loved it. I mean, that was one of their favorite songs off the new album. They liked Feed Me. They liked Get It, Got It Good. But Karma was the one that they really liked. And then once we released it here in the States as a digital download, we found out that everybody else was resonating with it as well. And, we had to keep that song in the set list, from that point on. Although we're not playing it now, only because we're learning the new material on the new album, but we're probably going to put that one back in because it is so powerful and it does have a good message. But yeah, Karma, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's you do people wrong, you're going to pay for it, whether you believe so or not. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that want to mess with people and impose their will at any cost, whether they're right or wrong, just because they feel that, they can sort of bully their way through life, and they're not going to, answer to anyone for their actions. And the one thing they forget is that, there is a universal force out there that sort of governs what we all do, whether we want to believe it or not.
Yeah.
And we will have our day, whether you believe it or not. And if you're just a fucked up person, your day will come, and it won't be pretty. It'll be really, really nasty and very ugly. And I mean, it can affect you in so many different ways, financially, health-wise, relationship wise. I mean, you can be a bitter, angry person for the rest of your life, and that could be your karma because of all the shit that you've done to other people. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's kind of what it's about. It's that universal truth that nobody can get away from. Um, we're all going to pay the piper before we leave
We
this
all do.
place. Yeah,
We all do.
yeah,
We all do. Me included. Yeah. There's no avoiding it. Make the rest of your days count. you know,
exactly. Yeah,
do things for the do things for the right reason while you have the
there you go.
opportunity. You know, Mark Taylor says, "Hey, Will. Hey, Tony. Hey, Mark. I am so happy to see you, man. Thank you so very, very much for being here. The dreamer's back. But
Hello, Mark.
you have any questions, Mark, for Tony, for Wicked Star? Check out the videos in the description box below. Please, anybody that has any questions for Tony, I want to encourage you to ask them while I have Tony here. And I will be sure to give you a shout out, and I'll be sure to ask Tony your questions. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here, Mark. Thank you, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're doing good. And congratulations, Mark, on finding somebody too, man. Very cool. I've been meaning to Skype you. Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
I want to quickly plug the Sudden Impact album,
Oh, absolutely.
and that's what it looks like. That is the front cover, and we turn it around, and there is the track list. And we'll mention 4 songs on the album already. Well, 3. Karma's on Collision Course. But yeah, you want to go out and purchase Sudden Impact, you can by hitting all the major sites: iTunes, Amazon, Google Music, Spotify, Deezer, CD Baby. Whatever your choice is, it's there.
What about merch, Tony? Where can everybody go to find Wicked Star merch?
Well, what we're doing is we're finalizing our website. And once the website is finalized, then they're going to be able to purchase the merch directly from the website. And we're going to have it set up through PayPal where they can pay on site, and then the merch will be shipped out to them wherever they are. They just have to make sure that they look at the shipping and handling costs, because our European friends are obviously going to pay a little bit more.
Yeah.
Same thing with people in Australia and Japan. You guys will be paying more for shipping and handling, only because it's a hefty cost for us on our end. So it's not going to be the same rate as it would be for anyone living in the States. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear so that we understand what's going on. Because last time I was mailing merch out to Australia, it was costing a lot of money to get it out there. And
Yeah.
a couple times they did not get it. Don't know what happened, but when I found out that it got lost in the mail, I was really pissed off, because I spent like $20-$30 to send it out there just in postage alone, and it did not happen. So I was very, very upset.
Well, sure. Sure, I'd be too. And this is a
Luckily, it was
rough time.
insured though, so I was
Yes,
able to recoup it. But still, it was just bad for the person that ordered it, and it just didn't look good on our end either.
absolutely. I totally understand. So, what is, well, before I go to the next segment of the show, um, what is the backstory to Hot Love?
Okay, you picked a fun song. The backstory.
Oh, I would eventually.
So, are you talking about the making of the video or the writing of the song, the
the
inspiration?
making the making of the video.
Oh, okay. Well, I I knew Pabs. Pabs is the brunette in the video, uh, and she's the one driving the SUV.
Uh,
And I approached her with my idea for the concept of the video and what I was seeing, envisioning. And we sat down and talked about it. And I asked her if we could use her place to film the video,
mm,
and that she was going to be in it, and that Heather, which is the blonde, was also going to be in the video. And I explained the whole concept, which was pretty basic, but they liked it and they agreed to do it. And we went ahead and shot it at her place. And yeah, the rest is history.
cool, cool.
But it was fun.
So,
It was fun to shoot it. Zeus was our bass player back then, and Kyle was playing guitar, and then we had Orion Rains. Used to be the original drummer, I think, for Stonebreed. He was in the band temporarily, helping us out when we were looking for a permanent drummer. So Orion got to be in the video and interact with the girls, as did Zeus and Kyle. And yeah, we had a blast filming it. It was fun.
what is the most important thing to Tony Richards about performing, and why is performing and connecting with the energy of the audience so deeply and passionately important to you?
That's a very deep question, but I'm glad you asked. Well, it's always been about the music. It's always been about connecting with the audience. And when you hear the new album, you're going to see what I mean by that. I believe that we're at a turning point in our country's history in regards to all this political BS that we're hearing and all the division that's going on. That's sort of making people choose sides and questioning things that we, shouldn't really question as extensively. It should be common sense, but for whatever reason, it's not common sense, and people are trying to dig deep and come up with their own explanation for things that they don't understand. That's fine. I have nothing with questioning authority. I think we should always question authority. That's what keeps people honest, and that's what keeps our country strong. So I won't elaborate too much on that because I don't want to get into this political bullshit. First and foremost, I'm an American. I love my country. I think we're the greatest country in the world, and I hope that we continue to be the greatest country in the world. I don't ever want to see us become second fiddle to an Eastern power. I think if that ever happens, we'll probably end up, fighting till the death, as they say, to keep our way of life. But again, getting away from all the political stuff, I just want to say that, musically, it's always been about connecting with the fans for me. Always. The first two albums, I think I was just having fun, sort of getting back into the groove, and like I said earlier, reigniting my career after, being on hiatus for a few years and going to school and raising my daughter and, sticking to my responsibilities, so that I could, be at the point in my life where I am now currently. There's just a lot more knowledge, a lot more maturity on my end. Decision making is a lot better. There's a lot more enlightenment. And I think all that shows on this new album. So the connection with the audience to me has always been crucial. It's been, the driving force behind what I do musically. The lyrical content that, I poured out on this new album is going to really show. And I think the connection with the audience is going to be very, very strong, stronger than the first two albums for sure. It's not tongue-in-cheek stuff, shooting from the hip, with sexualized innuendos and things of that nature. I mean, this new album, Return to Glory, is going to be completely different. It's going to be more A&R, but good A&R, not cheesy A&R. It's still going to have a bite to it. It's going to have an edge to it that keeps it real, that keeps it, fresh. And the fact that the guys that I'm jamming with now, Rafa, Souza on guitar, Gio Sanchez on bass, we're the main writers. It's magical. It's been magical, the way that we cranked out these 10 songs for this new album. Again, I'll say it again. It flowed. It just really flowed. It all just fit together like a puzzle, and it was just perfectly, tailor-made to what the end result of the product is. And everyone, again, will get to hear it on April 29th, 2022. Maybe you can have me on a future show a couple weeks before the release date, and we can turn on the audience to like maybe 2 or 3 tracks off the new album so that they can get a taste for what's coming.
Yes, absolutely. I would be honored.
No, definitely. We'll do it. But to get back to your question, yes, to me, that connection with the audience, blood, sweat, and tears, that passion, pouring my heart out when I'm out there, making sure that they're connecting with the music and drawing them in, inviting them in to be part of it. I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about for me as a musician, as a front man, as an entertainer, is to get them to have a good time, have a good time, and to just feel the music, feel the vibe, which ironically is a song that I wrote on the new album called Feel the Vibe. And it kind of deals with that. It talks about that connection, not just the connection with the audience, but the connection to the universe and all the different subtle energies that are out there, and how important it is to sort of pay attention to that. And if you can tap into that, you can sort of make your life a lot better by being able to create things out of thin air. It's not impossible. Everyone can do it. It's just a matter of having the awareness to understand what all that stuff is about. And that song, Feel the Vibe, sort of deals with that. And it's a fun song. It's a very uplifting. It's very inspirational. Again, it was written for the fans, with the intention of, playing that live and seeing them connecting with it, getting up and, dancing or whatever it is that they want to do, whatever the vibe tells them or whatever they're feeling in their heart or their bodies. But hopefully it'll manifest into what I saw when I wrote it.
What is the goal? Like, well, before I go to that, the next question I have for you, Tony, is which where are your favorite venues to play? Where does Wicked Star enjoy playing the most at this point, at this stage?
Where do we enjoy playing the most?
Which places do you enjoy playing the most? Who has the best production in Wicked Star's eyes for Wicked Star's needs?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, we love doing the Hangin shows. We feel that, you know, they're very professional. They care about the artist. Um, you know, we've opened up for a lot of big name acts, and sometimes when we've played certain places, they've, you know, sort of treated us a little different because we're the opening act, which I always thought was sort of retarded.
Hmm.
But I can understand why the headliner at times doesn't want to get blown away, you know, by the opening act, because back in the day, we all know that things were a lot more, how would I say, on a equal playing field, so to speak, where the opening act would get a great sound check. They'd be able to, you know, fine tune things before their performance. And when you had a band like Van Halen opening up for Black Sabbath, uh, and you saw what Van Halen did to Black Sabbath, you're like, holy
Yeah,
shit. If you're Black
yeah.
Sabbath, you're hating it because you're the headliner, and you're just being massacred by
Hmm.
a really, really good band from Pasadena that just had their act together back then and were really hungry to make it. Um, so I kind of feel like we're getting a little bit of that when we do these shows with some of these headliners, in that, you know, we're not getting a lot of time to sound check. Um, we're sort of being disrespected at times,
Hmm.
because we are the opening act, and sometimes it's sabotage, you know. And I'm gonna say it because it's fucking true. Sometimes they want to sabotage you because they don't want you to, you know, pull the Van Halen and blow them out of the water, and that's fine. But, you know, we try to do our best in those situations with any sort of weird stuff that happens like that. So we've devised a plan to take things into our own hands where no one can sabotage our sound anymore. And we're going to implement that next time we go, and next time we open up for any uh, national act. We're going to be able to control our monitors, our sound from the stage, so that no one can ever sabotage our sound ever again. And we'll be on an equal playing field, I think. But yeah, I mean, I would say the Hangin, most of the Hangin venues that we played have been top notch, very professional. The staff
Hmm.
has been great. I love Zach. Zach's a great guy, great promoter, and I think that the Hangins, you know, overall have a great sound system and great sound engineers. You know, and they've always been pretty fair about sound checking and you know, the hospitality end of it. And even though the shows do start early, and that's one of the knocks about playing these shows, I still think that you know, they're a good organization to do business with.
So what? Very well said. So Tony, what is the hope? Like, if if you if Wicked Star can play any festival in the world, what festival would it be?
Any festival in the world?
Yep.
Wow. I mean, I like to play a few festivals, to tell you the truth. Not just in Europe and the U.S., but there's other ones like in Brazil. They have the Rock in Rio, which is massive. I think it's like 200,000 people that it holds. I mean, how can you say no to that? I'd love to play the festivals in Europe. I'd like to play Rocklahoma, do some of those Monsters of Rock cruises that sound pretty cool. I mean, it's a hard question because I wouldn't just limit myself to one festival saying that is the biggest tell-all festival of all, the most grandiose or whatever. I want to play them all. I want to play them all. And I think my band feels the same way. We're just hungry, man. We're hungry. We'll tear it up wherever we go, wherever they want to pay us, whether, it's Japan, Australia, Israel, Argentina, Canada, US, England, Spain, Italy, France, Germany. We're there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And really, I mean, despite what's going on in today's society and today's world, it's not going to last forever. And eventually, something's got to give. And I really believe that anything's possible. Anything is definitely possible. Always
Definitely.
believe in the impossible.
Definitely.
Always believe in that thing that you can't see with your own mere mortal eyes. Always know that there's something bigger, there's something greater than us mortals, us humans. And when the stars are lined up right, that's when it happens. So
I totally agree. Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, we have the power to make things happen. It's just a matter of focusing that energy and putting the hard work that's required to make it happen. And it takes discipline, it takes patience, it takes determination, and it takes a strong work ethic. And you have to practice, of course, in order to master that skill. But yes, anything in life is attainable. You can do it. It's just a matter of believing in yourself, getting out there, coming up with the plan, and going for it and making it happen.
So are there any brands, any promoters, any companies, any labels, any band members that you would like to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Rafa Souza and Sergio Sanchez. Rafa's my guitar player, Sergio's my drummer. They're both originally from Brazil. And Portuguese is their first language. So it's been, kind of rough for them living in the States, adapting to our way of life, and just getting immersed into this rock and roll world. I mean, these guys are well known in Brazil. Rafa played with Ripper Owens in South America. Ripper's a vocalist for Judas Priest, took over when Halford left, for those who don't know. And he had a great time jamming out there with Ripper. my drummer, Sergio, has produced, I think, about 12 albums in Brazil. So not only is he a great drummer, but he's also a good producer. And he's the one that mixed the new WIKKID STARR album, Return to Glory. And then it's going to be mastered by Mayor Applebaum, who is a great engineer when it comes to mastering. I mean, he's done a lot of big name artists like Yes and Genesis. There's so many other artists I can't think of right now, but his track record, his resume for mastering is incredible. So we're lucky to have Mayor mastering the album. Another person I want to give a shout out to is Avi. Avi is originally from Israel. He's a friend of mine, engineer. He's also a great pianist. He played with Air Supply for a little bit. That's how good he is on piano.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, no. When he told me the amount of money that we're paying him, I was like, yeah, how can you turn that down? But yeah, no, Avi's a great guy, great engineer. And I worked with him at his studio. All the vocals on this new album were recorded at his studio. So Avi was the one that was engineering all that. And I'm very grateful and thankful for having the opportunity to work with him. And again, people will get to hear all that when the album gets released. See what I mean about the connection we had when we were in the studio, because it was a really good connection. You know, he sort of brought out like the certain things vocally that I didn't go into thinking I could do, but once we started working together, he just sort of suggested, like, try this or try that, and I would try it and it would fit good. So I kept it. But yeah, no, so I want to make sure that that he gets some recognition. And if you ever want to record any vocals, go to Cockpit Studios in Woodland Hills, ask for Avi, and he is the man when it comes to recording vocals. Yeah, and then I also want to thank Katt Mars. Katt is sort of an enigma. Good guy. And I just want to thank him for his time and the fact that he, took time out to jam with us. I'll be grateful for that. But yeah, a lot of good things are going to happen. We feel 2022 is going to be a great year. There's a lot of good things on the horizon, and we're excited about it. We're just hoping this damn pandemic sort of fizzes out, and we can have some sort of normalcy, whether it's on a different level or whatever, but just some sort of normalcy where we can build some consistency again and have our lives go back to what they were used to, I guess. But I know that it's not going to be 100% that way, but 80% would be fine at this point.
I have to agree. Music Therapy Lab says, hey, what's up, Will Dreamer? Music Therapy Lab says, hello to everyone, happy holidays. And Music Therapy Lab says, hey, Tony.
Howdy.
The last question that I have, Tony, and again, for those, if you're new to the show, for those that don't know who I am, my name is The Dreamer, and this is my little place in the universe, Dreamland Studios. This is my show, Hanging with the Dreamer, and my guest today is Mr. Toney Richards from the band WIKKID STARR. Check this band out. Check out the video links I have down the description box below. Support this band, because this band is definitely headed to some big places. And I see the music is just going to get better and better and better and better. And I can't recommend WIKKID STARR enough. Check them out. Check them out, dreamers. Check out WIKKID STARR. So, my last question, Toney, is do you have any questions for me? A question I ask everybody. Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I do. What's your favorite guitar that you personally own?
That would be my Wolf WLP. Her name is Cindy, named after my beloved wife. And she's gorgeous. She's gorgeous. And then next up would be Red. That's my backup. And that's an all-in-one custom, an AIO custom. But those are my top two guitars.
Nice. Nice. And have you ever performed with the band?
Yes, in the 90s, the band's name was Soul Machine. And we played the Brave Bull, San Gabriel. We opened up for Bang Tango, Bullet Boys. We were always the opening act. And Z at the Brave Bull in San Gabriel. And
yeah, I saw Quiet Riot there. I actually talked to Kevin Dubrow after that show for a few minutes, and I was hanging out with Chris Holmes when Chris was sober and wasn't drinking anymore, which I felt kind of weird because I had a beer in my right hand and a beer in my left hand, and I went up to him and I said, "Hey, Chris, what's going on, man?" And he just kind of looked at me and he's like, I'm good." But he was sort of like hesitant because he saw the alcohol and I had no idea that, he sort of kicked the habit and was on the sober trip. So I talked to him briefly and felt guilty. So I had to walk away because I didn't want to be a temptation. But yeah, hanging out with Chris Holmes at a Quiet Riot show at the Brave Bull was actually very cool.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Quiet Riot, boy, I could make a whole special 2-hour live broadcast out of Quiet Riot alone. It's Quiet Riot. Kevin DuBrow, Randy Rhodes, Drew Super Chief Forsyth on the drums. First Kelly Garney on bass, and then Rudy Sarzo on bass. Yeah. Quiet Riot.
Yeah, man, they were good. They were good.
Yeah, Quiet Riot. Which I'm glad you brought that up because that takes me to the Lead Don't Follow Foundation. The reason, and a big shout out to CEO Darren Griffith, and a big shout out to Carol Rock Goddess Niven. And I got to tell you, the reason why I love this foundation is because the foundation is led by love and passion to help people find with addiction issues get treatment, get counseling, and get their self-respect and their self-esteem back, and help them get a whole brand new lease on life. So the reason why the Lead Don't Follow Foundation is 150% dreamer approved is personal. And I really wish that I would have known this foundation in the 90s and the 80s and the early 2000s. I can't recommend this foundation enough to anybody who is desperate and wants to find themselves again and learn how to master and beat their addictions.
Well said.
I love this foundation, and I another reason why I love the lead and follow foundation at leadandfollowfoundation.com is because their t-shirts have some incredible performers on the front of the t-shirt saying lead, don't follow foundation. I recommend this foundation to anybody who wants to support the cause of helping somebody, anybody, get their self dignity back and get their self respect back and their self honor back. That's a gift that money can't buy. You know?
You're a good
But
person, Will.
thank you, sir. That's very kind of you to say. I get a little choked up when I think about the foundation and the foundation's cause.
I think it's great. It's great that you guys are helping people that need help and direction and guidance and that empathy, that compassion. That's very, very cool, especially nowadays where people are really lacking empathy and compassion.
You know, thank you. Are there any, do you have any other questions for me, Tony?
Yeah, I do. One more. What motivates you, Will? What keeps you going?
Being able to share my love, my passion in the unknown. Being able to share my love and passion for music. I want to be remembered. This Dreamland Studios, Hanging with the Dreamer, is my legacy. I'm going to be leaving behind when my time is done. And I want to be known. I don't want to be known for any bad stuff. I don't want to be known for my past. I want to be known for what I'm doing now. And I want to be known, I want to be remembered for leaving deep footprints in the sand like Godzilla. And where people, yep, where people will see those footprints and go, whoa, get the chills and get the bumps and go, that was a dreamer. That is my goal. Do I do this because I hope someday I'll get rich off of it? Well, if I was, I wouldn't still be doing it. I do this, I hope to, quite honestly, I hope to generate a full-time income eventually. But my heart, my soul is for people like you, Tony, and people also. I've had some incredible guests in the last year and 3/4 of all nationalities, of all various types of music. I believe that music is universal, Tony. And it's so important to me, and I believe it's so powerful. Whether you're grooving to Meatloaf or whether you're grooving to Zeppelin, or whether you're grooving to James Marshall Hendrix, right there. Music is magic. Music is universal.
Sure is.
And music is what holds us all together.
I agree
But
with you 100%.
it takes faith and it takes conviction and it takes honesty.
Yes.
The magic is always around. The magic that created Dreamland Studios, the magic that created The Dreamer, the magic that created Hanging with the Dreamer, the magic that created the Dreaming Guitarist Show featuring the Dreamer and friends, the magic that created the Dreamer Life is all spirit led, spirit based, and it's all my heart and soul.
Thank you for sharing that. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. Everybody, keep on watch out for some weekly uploads every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Dreamer's Life on YouTube. Keep your eyes open for posts on Facebook, for tags that come out from Dreamland Studios. And please, again, everybody, from the bottom of my heart, please check out Toney Richards and WIKKID STARR. Please subscribe to the WIKKID STARR's YouTube channel. Let's help this band really grow, everybody. Thank you so very much, Toney Starr. Please. Thank you so very much, Toney Richards, from the band WIKKID STARR.
It's all right. I understood what you said. I kind of liked it, what you said.
and there you go.
Thank you, Will. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to answer these tough questions that you threw at me. They were really deep, but it's good. It's good that we kept it real. It's good that we went that route, and it could have been generic. It could have been very tongue-in-cheek, meaningless chatter, but no, it was not. It was actually very deep and profound, and I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to go there with you.
Thank you. Thank you so very much, Toney. Everybody, again, check out Toney Richards and WIKKID STARR's link down in the description box below. Check out the Essential Guitarist link down in the description box below. Check out everything Dreamer related. Check out everything jaylambsremy and the High Voltage Video Magazine down in the description box below. Please share this stream. Please share this stream with everybody that you know. Please.
Yeah. And I want to. Oh, go ahead, Will. Sorry.
That's all right. Just please, if you like my content, please consider hitting my PayPal for everybody that's out there, everybody that's watching. And look for more appearances by Toney Richards here on Hanging with the Dreamer. Keep your eyes open, everybody.
I'll be sure to shave and not wear a hat next time. I want to give a shout out to a couple people.
Yes.
Peter DeFilippo, Tabitha Hurd, thank you very much for the recent photo shoot that we did out in Orange County. Peter's a great guy, class act. He's in a band called Heavy Revel. They play a lot of covers. Another shout out to Bill Dodge. Thanks, Bill, for allowing us to use a facility out in OC. Greatly appreciate it. Who am I forgetting? You know, this is always tough for me because there's so many people to thank, and I don't want to offend anybody. But I want to say thank you to all my Facebook friends who are following us and keeping up to date on what we're doing and stuff. Thank you. Thank you to everybody on Instagram, Twitter. Appreciate you. And again, we will have our website. It will be launching hopefully by the 30th, 31st, somewhere around there, right before New Year's. So you guys will be able to buy merch on the actual website. It'll be linked up to PayPal account, and you guys will be able to do it 24/7, which is good because we've been getting a lot of people asking about what the new merch is going to look like. So it's going to look badass.
Outstanding.
And, yeah. And be ready to pick up the new WIKKID STARR album, Return to Glory. It'll be released on April 29th, 2022 on Lions Pride Music, and they're based out of Denmark. Check it out. If you want to buy the actual physical CD, you'll have to go to the Lions Pride Music site and order it there. If not, then it'll be available for a digital download, if that's okay with you. I know a lot of people like CDs still, so they will be available through Lions Pride. We will be playing April. We'll be playing April 22nd at the Whiskey with Shark Island. That'll be a good gig.
Shark Island?
Yeah, Shark Island.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be a good show. And that'll be, it ironically falls on Earth Day, and it's also our guitar player's birthday, Rafa Souza.
Oh.
So it's going to be a party. So I recommend everybody. Awesome. It will. And I think you need to show up, Will.
I thank you for your kindness. Thank you. When will it be?
It'll be Friday, April 22nd at the Whiskey, and we're going to hit the stage at 9:30. So it'll be good.
Definitely keep me in the loop. And
yeah.
I Shark Island. Wow, yep. Richard Black. And you know, Richard Black is really sounding good. And the guy, the bands the musicians that he has are stellar. I remember Shark Island, and I remember back in the day when they were the Sharks.
Yeah.
And yeah. Sierra Madre. Yep.
Yeah, I think you hear Paris calling, Will.
I've been there once. I wouldn't mind going back again, I'll tell you.
No, it's awesome. France is cool.
Awesome.
So is Italy and Spain.
Awesome.
England and Germany.
Don't forget Scotland.
Scotland, Northern Ireland. Yeah. UK is cool.
That reminds me, after we're done here and after I'll send you a picture of guitars. I'll send you the website, and I'll send you some pictures of me when I went and visited my homeland of Inverness, Scotland.
Nice.
At Loch Ness.
Right on.
So I believe in that kind of stuff. So
Nessie.
I just wanted. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough for coming to the show today. And I can't thank you enough. I feel like I'm talking to a long lost brother. And I'm very thankful. And I'm very grateful that you believe in me enough to give me your valuable time. Thank
Certainly
you
did,
very
man.
much.
You're a good guy, man. Thank you. I appreciate, like I said, you give me the opportunity to express myself on some deep stuff that I probably wouldn't share with anybody else. I like your approach. You're very sincere. And I think that's kind of why I opened up. But yeah, the connection was there, definitely. Thank you, Will. And I just want to say something real quick before we leave. I want to say hi to David and Kate Tickle. And their three kids, Jackson, Danny, and I can't remember the baby's name. I want to say, no, it's not Augie, but hi, baby Tickle. And they're out in England, and they'll be coming out to the States here, hopefully soon, by next year. Yeah. Kate and David are in the Bring It On video. And then one thing I wanted to share before I left, Will, was that I'm talking to some people from the Pasadena City Council right now. Nothing set in stone yet, but there might be a charity event that we do at the Pasadena Civic where WIKKID STARR and a few other bands might be playing the Pasadena Civic with all the money being raised going to charity. So I will keep you posted on that one.
Please.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, being from Pasadena, we have to play the Civic. Van Halen set the bar. In my opinion, I don't think anyone's ever even come close to what Van Halen did back in the day. And, you know, our style of music and the direction that we're going is a little bit different than what they did, but we hope to be as impactful as they were. And let's see what happens here. But
absolutely. Everybody, thank you for hanging out and watching. And thank you for commenting. Thank you for saying hi. And thank you for hanging out with the Dreamer today and hanging out with Toney Richards, everybody. And again, please subscribe, smash that bell notification, and so you'll be notified when there's a new upload every Thursday evening at 6:30 p.m. I have some great shows planned that go into summer of 2022. I'm hitting this. I hit this way too hard at the beginning. I'm at a more even pace now and more smoother pace. And I can't wait to share with everybody what's going to be coming out from Dreamland Studios. I'm working real hard on a new vision for Dreamland Studios. Thank you very much, Toney. And if you will hang out for a minute, I'm just gonna close out here real quick.
Yeah, let me. Can I say one thing real quick before we go?
Yeah.
All right, big shout out to Chris Saloma from Lions Pride Records and Karsten, who's out in Denmark. Chris is out in Greece, and I also want to say hi to the band Gunner and Rox, the guitar player. They're out in Argentina. Great band, and I want to say hi to Ed, who's the vocalist for a band called Hunter, and they're out in South America too. They're out in Chile. Thank you guys both for all your support, and I support your projects as well. And of course, thank you to everybody in the States and Canada that been with us from day one. We love you guys.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Toney.
Thank you, Will.
Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. You've been watching Hanging with the Dreamer with your host, me, the Dreamer. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, smash that bell notification, because there's going to be some real great content being posted every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you, everybody.